Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome everybody to the Original Rebels Racing League. My name is Josh Hall. We're here at Texas Motor Speedway. I apologize, the wrong logos popped up on my screen. We'll get those fixed up in a moment. We're here in the last race before the playoffs here tonight. So we've got a few drivers trying to move themselves and lock themselves in to the final four. Again, my name is Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Hardline Transport Solutions Outlaw Truck Series. We'll get the pictures there up on the board in just a moment. Let's take a look at our standings coming into tonight. Hang on one moment. We've got something going on in the background here.
Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original.
Oh, I know what's going on. I do apologize for that. Had the stream playing twice on my end. Looks like we've got that figured out. Again, I do apologize for that in the background there. Apparently, I never clicked back over the broadcast. So let's try this again. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Intensity Broadcasting live coverage of the Original Rebels Racing League Hardline Truck Series. And to apologize, got a little bit behind tonight, but we are getting ready for 100 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. Apologize, something's going to pop up on my screen. Let's take a look at the standings coming into tonight. See where your favorite drivers are. We see Adam Lang currently your points leader, trying to move himself into that final four tonight. Steve Loving back in second. Andy Kurtz in third. Travis Beaver, Michael Kosick, Logan Monteith, Chris McLean round out your top seven here going into tonight. Speaking of Chris McLean, we see him out on track right now, and as soon as I get my scoring uploaded, we'll be able to see that I actually have the playoff drivers will be marked on the timing and scoring. So qualifying is just about to get underway. So we'll get you that in just a moment when our first drivers hit the track. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. We do appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. Of course, we, again, tonight is the last two races before the playoffs, both here in the Outlaws and the Original Rebels Truck Series, brought to you by Whole Heating and Sheet Metal. So you're not going to want to miss either one of these tonight. So we're waiting for our first drivers to make their way out onto the racetrack. Again, I do apologize for not having the right logos. There they are. We got qualifying underway, and Logan Monteith, one of the first drivers out on the racetrack. And my buttons are just not clicking the way that I want them to right now, because I still had the scoring up there, or the points there for coming into tonight. So here we go. Logan Monteith across the line. You see that blue banner next to his name. That shows that he is one of our playoff drivers. Jonah Cofield up to the top of the board. Gary Wright crosses the line currently in third as Monteith comes across the line for his second lap. And he will move up to the provisional pole at the moment. Let's see where he slides in tonight after that. Again, Michael Kosick out on track. Another one of our playoff drivers. Kosick using that low lane to shorten the track and get around the track the quick as he can. As he comes across the line, he will move up into the second position. Steve Loving, another one of our playoff drivers, out on track right now. Getting ready to take the checkered flag to see where he slots in here. And Loving's going to move up into the second position. So right now, 1, 2, 3 are playoff drivers. Adam Lang, another one of our playoff drivers, coming across the stripe. That was his first of 2 laps. Let's see what he's able to do here on his second lap. Right up against the wall, keeping as much speed as he can. This track is known for momentum. We're seeing that tonight. Kurtz is right there on the white line, comes through the quad oval. And he will jump up to the provisional pole. So right now, our top 4 are playoff drivers. We see Andy Kurtz making his way onto the track. Kurtz just taking the green flag for his first of 2 attempts. Chris McLean is also on track, starting his first of 2 laps. Another one of our playoff drivers. As Kurtz makes his way down the backstretch. And typically your second lap is your fastest lap here as Texas, as the tires warm up and the grip gets into the tires. And Andy Kurtz is going to come in the 9th position as we see Chris McLean. Just finishing up his second lap. And McLean is going to jump up into the 4th position. With about 4.5 minutes left, we still have about 6 drivers left to qualify if they choose to. One of those being Travis Beaver, another one of our playoff drivers. Thank you, sir. I just got a compliment on the playoff banners, getting those blue stripes so we can recognize who is in the playoffs. That's going to be really important tonight to see who moves on to the next round next week at Phoenix. Of course, just a couple drivers left to qualify. Again, we want to thank everybody here tonight joining us here on Intensity Broadcasting for the Original Rebels Racing League Hardline Solutions, Transport Solutions Truck Series. Of course, we want to thank all of our great sponsors that makes this possible. Of course, Hardline Transport Solutions, the memory of Matthew Mann, Danglang Racing Designs, Smeal Racing Designs, Shibu New Crypto. Also, Peg Leg Felts, P&J Motorsports, Evil Empire Simsport, Thunderstruck Super Series, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Smeal Racing Designs, BK Motorsports, and Silbuski Window Tinting. All helping out to make this league the league that it is and the success that it's had over the years. Oh no, no internet tonight watching from the pits for Matt Kleeman, so tough break for him tonight. At least he gets to see the beautiful artwork that I've been able to provide tonight with the playoff banners. So again, we want to make sure that we know who's in the playoffs, where they are on the track at all times. So both the tower and the ticker will have the blue banners tonight for the Outlaw Truck Series and yellow banners tonight in the Rebels Truck Series. So stick around after this one's over, as we do have our truck doubleheader as we always do. We see Greg Froelich at the end of pit road getting ready to do his qualifying attempt. That's right. As we do have every Sunday night, we do have our truck doubleheader. This is the Outlaw Series first. The Sunday Night Rebels Truck Series will kick off at 10 p.m. Eastern after this one's over. We will not see any Garrett Kinder tonight, as Kinder is at the All-Star race tonight, but he did lock himself into the final race. And I take that back. The final race will not be next week. We are taking a week off for Memorial Day weekend. As Greg Froelich starts his first of 2 laps. Or finishes his first of 2 laps, excuse me. Coming down the backstretch on his second lap, currently in the 14th position. See if Greg's able to improve his lap time on his second lap and possibly get himself into the top 10 for starting here tonight. As Froelich comes across the line, and he'll move up into the 13th position. Another one of our playoff drivers, Travis Beaver, just hit the track. And you can tell your playoff drivers by the blue splitters, the blue banners on the windshield, the blue spoilers, as well as the blue color on the ticker here in the tower. So you can see exactly where the playoff drivers are as the race goes on. Beaver's going to come across, take the checkered flag as time expires here in qualifying to put himself up into the 9th position as we get ready to take a look at the starting grid. And of course, your starting grid is brought to you by BK Motorsports and your Chuck Peg Leg Felts Pole Award. We'll go to the 8 of Adam Lang, Logan Monteith. In the 99, he'll be rolling off from the 2nd position. In row number 2, we'll find the 27 of Steve Loving. And another playoff driver, Chris McLean. Michael Kosick rolls off from the 5th position. So your first 5 drivers are all playoff drivers here tonight. And Jamie Mullins will be rolling off from 6th. Eric Burkhalter in the 71. He'll be rolling off 7th with Steve McDonald in the 68, rolling off from the 8th position. Travis Beaver starting from 9th, and Jonathan Cofield I do that all the time, and he gives me such a hard time about it. Jonathan Cofield rolling off in the top 10. Andy Kurtz, he'll be rolling off from the 11th position, last year's Outlaw Truck Series champion. And Michael Swink in the 12th position. Back in 13th, we'll find the 70 of Todd Schott. And Greg Froelich in the 15 in the 14th position. Gary Wright rolls off from 15th with Brandon Pollock in the 16th position. Ryan Huff, 17th. Brandon Wallace in 18th. And Matt Knights rounds out the field here in the 19th position. So here we go as we get ready. The drivers are forming up behind the pace truck. As we get ready to do 100 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Outlaw Truck Series. Again, we do appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. Looking forward to an exciting one here tonight. As the pace truck is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Again, this is the last race before Phoenix in 2 weeks. Adam Lang has a commanding lead right now of those points coming into tonight. We'll see if he's able to move himself on to Phoenix, and who else is able to punch their ticket to Phoenix as well. Pace truck pulls off on the pit road. Adam Lang leads them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Texas, and a great jump from Adam Lang, but already trying to make it 3 wide behind the 05 Chris McLean. Thought about putting it up the middle for a second. He tucks in behind Stephen Loving. As Monteith is trapped on that high side as they make their way off of turn number 2. A little further back, we see a couple drivers battling for position. A couple playoff drivers as the 5 of Andy Kurtz trying to move himself forward, and Travis Beaver already up 2 positions into the 7th position. Steve Loving taking over the lead from Adam Lang on the low side. And here comes Monteith on that low side as well. We see Chris McLean running that little bit high side as they are 2 by 2 coming down the backstretch. Kosick right there in tow, watching what's going on in front of him as the 114 of Travis Beaver sits back in the 7th position, trying to make a move around Eric Burkhalter to move himself into the mix-up here. Monteith with a big run on the bottom. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Chris McLean throws it in the middle. He thought about doing it earlier. Now he does. Now he's going to fall back in line behind Monteith. Give him a little push. Now he jumps up to the high side. Monteith down to the bottom in front of McLean. So Adam Lang falling back. Now he's under attack from the 8 of Kosick. So your first 5 drivers are all playoff drivers. Adam Lang almost makes contact with Kosick. One truck just exiting pit road. That is the 15 of Greg Froelich. As the field starts to get single file early in the run, Steve Loving still out front, but he's got a hard-charging Logan Monteith sitting back there in the 2nd position. Chris McLean trying to make his way up through the field as well. Now Kosick taking a look down underneath McLean. And Monteith taking a look underneath Loving as they come down the backstretch. Travis Beaver looking up to the high side of Eric Burkhalter, a little further back. Right now, Monteith trying to take the point away from the 27 to Steve Loving as they come through the quad oval at the line. Loving just by a nose as we complete lap number 5. Already starting to see drivers really spreading out through turns 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is much wider than 3 and 4. There's a lot more options to run. So you'll see these drivers running high, running low. Then off of turn number 4 here, it really narrows up coming onto the quad oval. So you'll see a lot more side-by-side action, especially maybe 3 wide through turns 1 and 2 than you will through the other end of the track. Also here at Texas, the banking really just kind of flattens out, so you see these drivers getting a little loose off the corner, especially as the tires wear off, as now Loving's trying to take that top spot back away from Logan Monteith. Oh, almost gets loose, had to chase it up the track, almost came up into the side of the 99. Now they are still side by side down the front stretch. And Chris McLean up into the mix here as well. Five out of the 7 playoff drivers in tonight's race are all here in the top 5. But not too far behind our last year's champion, Andy Kurtz, and the 114 of Travis Beaver. And let's not forget, Andy Kurtz did win the Xfinity Championship this year as well, as Chris McLean powers himself around the high side to put himself up into the lead. So already 5 lead changes here tonight at Texas. A little connection blip right there. Already 5 lead changes here at Texas so far, as you see the 99 of Monteith trying to get back to the inside of Chris McLean. Again, just behind that we see Travis Beaver and Andy Kurtz running nose to tail back in 7th and 8th. Sorry, 8th and 9th. Trying to get themselves up into the mix here as well. Monteith trying to take that position back around Chris McLean, and he is. So now Logan Monteith back up to the point. Adam Lang back in 3rd. But here comes Steve Loving down to the low side, making it 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. So move McLean back up into, Loving back up in the 3rd position, as McLean's trying to take that lead back from the high side. He's going to kind of diamond the corner here, trying to get a run off of turn number 4. But so far, just not able to make that run work. Michael Kosick, the back of this group of playoff drivers, just got passed by Jonathan Cofield. So move Cofield up into the 6th position. As he's trying to work by Kosick again to put himself up into the top 5. Right here, Steve Loving and Adam Lang are going at it side by side for 3rd and 4th. As the laps tick off here at Texas Motor Speedway. Steve McDonald taking a look down underneath Todd Schott, trying to take the 10th position away. As the field is now starting to get a little more single file. And McDonald still fighting back here as Todd Schott has moved himself solidly up into the top 10. And Kosick now still battling side by side with Cofield. Cofield now has to tuck back in behind. A battle back here between Jamie Mullins and Gary Wright. This is back for 14th and 15th, and these two drivers have been going at it side by side for the last 6 or 7 laps. So Logan Monteith still leads it over Chris McLean. McLean's got a hard-charging Steve Loving right there behind him as well. As we are coming to lap number 17 of 100. The field's starting to get a little bit more single file here. A lot of drivers showing some patience. It's a long race. Especially these drivers who are racing to get themselves up into the playoffs. And while we've got a little break in the action, let's do a little segment I like to call Pump Up the Intensity. Back up front, we've got a battle back for the lead. As McLean was just looking up to the high side, trying to get himself around Logan Monteith, just not able to do it. We saw a little side-by-side action during a little pump up the intensity segment there. And right now, all of our drivers kind of running in the same positions we left you at. Chris McLean tries to use that high line yet again to get around Monteith, but just not able to get the speed that he needs last time by. McLean ran a 31.19. Monteith ran a 31.12. Steve Loving ran a 31.14. So these three drivers up front pretty even amongst themselves. Now it's going to be all about the pit strategy. When do you come in? I see this race going long, green flag racing. When do you come in? How you hit pit road, how you nail it, how you hit your pit stop, and how you get off of pit road is going to really decide this race, I think, tonight. Everybody's been giving each other a lot of room throughout the field. We got a little battle back here between Gary Wright and Brandon Pollock. Pollock down on the apron trying to get that car to turn. Excuse me, trying to get that truck to turn. them truck cars. You know how much here at Intensity we love those truck cars. So much that we even have our own t-shirt on IntensityBroadcasting.com. It is the truck car t-shirt. You can check that out. And all the great merchandise that we have at our web store at IntensityBroadcasting.com. And don't forget to check out the home of the original Rebels Racing League at ORRLeague.com. There is a link down in the description as Chris McLean runs way up the track to allow Steve Loving to get down into the inside. Monteith, McLean, and Kosik's banners are not showing up on the ticker anymore. Let me see if I can figure that out while the race is going on here. But they are showing up on the tower, so we'll put the tower up there for a few moments. We'll put the gap here on the tower. Got that one figured out. Thank you for letting me know. Got that fixed. Now all the playoff drivers are showing up on the ticker. It's amazing how one little letter in the coding can screw up the whole thing. As here we see Steve Loving taking a look back down to the inside of Chris McLean. These two battle side by side. Oh, a little connection issue for Loving as they continue to run side by side off of turn number 4, and Loving pulls a little slide job there to get himself up into the second position. And just behind, Jonathan Cofield and Michael Kosik going at it as McLean now dives down to the bottom, trying to take that second position back. Yes, Matt, I do appreciate the heads up there. I've tried to get these playoff banners up on the screen now for about 2 seasons, and I have not been able to figure it out until just recently. So I want to make sure we've got those up there for you so you know where all of the playoff drivers are currently running, as Cofield taking a look down underneath McLean to take away the third position, and that 53 truck is on a tear right now. Currently up 7 positions, our biggest mover of the race, up into the top 3. And currently the fastest truck on the track. A little further back, we see McLean getting passed by Kosik, and Andy Kurtz is right here in the mix as well. So that 05 truck showing a little, having a little trouble right now. Currently falling backwards. As Kosik takes a look back down to the inside. Back up front, though, we've got Logan Monteith still leading over Steve Loving. But Jonathan Cofield trying to play spoiler here, trying to keep one of these playoff drivers from automatically advancing. As we come across the line, complete lap number 36 of 100. I imagine these drivers are thinking about pit stops pretty soon. This track is notorious for eating tires, especially that right front tire. Truck starts getting very pushy. And we'll see these drivers might be trying to stretch this all the way as close to halfway as they can. I believe the fuel run on these trucks is about 40 to 42 laps. Yeah, Matt's saying the same thing. Time for some new shoes. Absolutely. As Jonathan Cofield taking a look underneath Steve Loving to move himself up into the second position. So Cofield up 8 positions trying to run down your leader, Logan Monteith. Michael Kosick, the first driver to make his way down on the pit road. Travis Beaver right behind. Oh, Beaver spins it. Coming on the pit road. That's going to cost him a ton of time on track. As Monteith continues to lead at the bottom of the screen, you'll see who's on pit road. First 3 letters of their name when it's flashing the word pit. That means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it is solidly saying pit, that means they are on their in their pit stall. When the time pops up, that's how long their pit stop was. They are down and away, such as Michael Kosick is showing right now. And when they disappear, that means they have exited pit road. Couple more drivers, Eric Burkhalter, Brandon Pollock, both on pit road as well. Adam Lang making his way down onto pit road. Here comes your leaders. Monteith, Cofield, Andy Kurtz, hard into pit road, trying to gain a few positions. Oh, contact! Cofield locked him up, made a little contact with the 99 of Logan Monteith, and you can see the damage to the right front quarter panel or right front fender of that 99 machine. So a tough break for Monteith. I don't know if he's going to use his reset or just hope to get that fixed, as it's not going to be too much damage, as Steve Loving is now the leader. He passes by pit road. He's going to try to stay out at least a lap or 2 longer. Steve Loving, Jamie Mullins, Brandon Wallace, last 3 drivers yet to pit. And we know Brandon Wallace is a driver who likes to really stretch the fuel run. He'll pretty much run that truck right out of fuel. We saw it last week. And it looks like we might see it again here tonight. Brandon Wallace not really running for points here in the Outlaw Series, running for experience and fun. He is in the playoffs in the next race. As you see Eric Burkhalter working down underneath the 99. You see Cofield coming by as well. You're seeing just how much quicker these fresh tires are as opposed to staying out on old tires. Last time by, Steve Loving ran a 31:51. Fastest driver on the track. On fresh tires, just ran a 30-11. So a second and a half slower Loving is, on these older tires. So he comes off of turn number 4, and he's going to pass by pit road yet again. Is he going to try to make it to lap 50, turn this into a one-stop race? Jamie Mullins makes his way down onto pit road, leaving just Steve Loving and Brandon Wallace out there on old tires. And Steve Loving off the gas, making his way down onto pit road this time. No, I'm sorry, you're coming off of turn number 2. I think he might have just been shutting the truck off, trying to save some fuel. As he does continue to stay out. Brandon Wallace runs in second. He's getting passed by the 18 of Michael Swink. Again, we're just seeing how much quicker those fresh tires are, as this is going to be one of the battles for the lead here in a moment. Steve Loving has now just made his way down on the pit road. And Brandon Wallace also slowing down, making his way on the pit road as well. So with Loving and Wallace coming to pit road, that will complete our first round of green flag pit stops. I'll have to see when these guys make their second stop and if it's under green. Do they split this run in half, or they just run the fuel out? Guys like Brandon Wallace and Steve Loving might be able to save the fuel to the end. They're only going to have to save about 3 laps of fuel, which might be possible. What's not possible to save fuel is when you have a driver running down your neck like we see Logan Monteith have right now. Just out in front of him, the 3 of Michael Kosick is your leader. He came down pit road about 3 laps earlier, and already he's losing time to Monteith and McLean as they are slowly reeling him in. Andy Kurtz back here in a battle with Adam Lang. Looking down underneath Lang, trying to take away that 4th position, and he will. Remind you of the points coming into tonight. Adam Lang has a 14-point lead over 4th place. 15 points back to Kosick. So Adam Lang pretty much locked into the next round as long as he finishes up in the top 10. Chris McLean's going to need to win it here tonight to move on to Phoenix, as well as Monteith showing a little bit, being 16 points back. He might have to win depending on where everybody else falls in tonight. So right now, Monteith's only thought is to get the win here tonight, along with Chris McLean. Tyler Barnett in the chat as well. A couple drivers without internet here tonight. Logan Monteith slowly reeling in Kosick within 0.3 of a second. Coming off of pit road a few laps ago, it was about 1.5 seconds, so Monteith really working hard to get himself back up into the lead. Chris McLean follows suit right behind. The field really stretching out at the moment as Monteith trying to make a look down underneath Kosick. And Monteith's going to make his way right around that 3 machine. Can McLean make the same move around the 3? Here it goes down to the bottom, trying to take over the 2nd position. There you have it, move Kosick back into the 3rd position. Saw Steve Loving getting around the 71 of Eric Burkhalter. I do apologize for the connection clicking out there for a second. I'm actually getting some really bad weather at the moment, so I do apologize for that. Adam Lang just made his way down on the pit road and off of pit road. Just had a full 4-tire pit stop. So I don't know if Adam Lang is trying to run this one out to the end or what he's trying to do here, but right now working around the 73 of Ryan Huff. That is not for a position, as Logan Monteith has a mirror full again of Chris McLean. Adam Lang should have enough fuel to make it to the end now. As we see Monteith battling with Chris McLean. McLean looking high, looking low. Right there on the back bumper. Almost some contact between those two drivers. McLean again runs right in the tire tracks. McLean really looking for any opportunity he can to get by Logan here. While this battle is going on, it's allowing Kosick to stay right there. McLean's been running that higher line all night tonight. Really kind of surprising that he's tucked down underneath the back bumper of Monteith like he's been the last few laps. Andy Kurtz just made his way down onto pit road. And Kurtz is now off of pit road, so another driver making a second pit stop early. Kurtz currently 13 points behind Adam Lang. Only 2 points above the cut line to make his way to Phoenix. So Kurtz trying to do a little strategy, a little gambling to get himself to Phoenix. No playoff drivers here, but Michael Swink and Steve McDonald have been going at it for the last few laps. Another driver using that little higher line trying to get a run is Swink here as he's coming across the line. Just not quite in a position to try to make a move. But he's going to try to make a move on the high side of McDonald. We see a bit of damage to the right side of that 68 truck. Looks like that truck's been up into the wall. Now Swink's going to easily get around the 68. 68 looks like he's making his way down onto pit road, which he is. Back up front, Monteith starting to pull away from McLean just a little bit. McLean's able to get right back to the back bumper through turns 3 and 4, but Monteith able to get through turns 1 and 2 so much better than the 05. Lap time wise, these two have been running pretty much identical lap times. It's just which driver is better on which end of the track. Jonathan Cofield down on pit road. Here goes Chris McLean making his way down onto pit road. Michael Kosick also on pit road. So coming to 30 laps to go. Everybody's starting to make their last pit stops. Monteith making his way down on the pit road now. That's going to give the lead back to Steve Loving, who again stretched his first run all the way out to lap 48. Which means realistically he would have to save 3 laps of fuel to make it to the end without pitting. While he runs slower laps to save that fuel, it also saves the tires. So we'll see if he's been able to save that fuel to make it to the end, or if he's going to have to come down for a splash of fuel and tires. He might even take just 2 tires. Oh, there we go. We hear it. Let's ride along with the 27 of Steve Loving. I heard him shutting the truck off. So he's able to hold it pretty much wide open through turns 3 and 4. But as he went into turn number 1 last time, I heard him shut the truck off. Let's see if he does that again here. as Monteith goes by on the high side, and exactly what Steve Loving is doing. I realized I had both the tower and the ticker on. I apologize for that. And it's exactly what Steve Loving is doing through turns 1 and 2, is he's shutting that truck off completely. The truck can't burn any fuel while it's shut off. So Steve Loving trying to run the fuel out on this one and get the win on strategy. He showed a lot of speed in that first run. See if he's able to hold on and make that strategy work and get himself the win here tonight. He's got a full lap advantage still on Logan Monteith. So Steve Loving may be able to make this move work. Andy Kurtz and Chris McLean, this is a battle for 5th position. Kurtz giving up the 5th spot. So move him back to 6th, and Chris McLean trying to get himself back out to the front. If Loving does have to make his way down pit road along with Brandon Wallace, then that will give the lead to Chris McLean. Again, McLean does need a win here, being 20 points behind the leader, to move himself on to Phoenix in 2 weeks. See McLean going around Brandon Wallace. So that's going to put McLean up into the 4th position. He still has a good 22 seconds to get to Steve Loving. Loving's last time by ran a 31.69. McLean ran a 30.47. So McLean is about a whole second faster a lap, but he's also 22 seconds behind with 22 laps to go. So this is going to be a close one. Can Steve Loving hang on and get the win, or is Chris McLean going to be able to run him down? Can I do a ticker between Loving and McLean? I wish I could. It only allows me to do it between 2 cars. Don't think I can do it between those 2. Let me see if I can. There you go, I can. There's the interval between McLean and Loving. And the way that it's looking right now is McLean comes across the start-finish line with 20 laps or 21 laps to go. He's going to be able to catch Loving coming to the white flag. The question is Loving going to be able to hold him off? Again, Loving is running slower lap times, yes, but he's also able to save tires. Not just is he saving fuel, but he's saving his equipment. So this one's going to come right down to the end. As now McLean has moved around. I'm sorry, Michael Swink has made his way down onto pit road. So now McLean is in 2nd place, and that lead is continuing to shrink. As Steve Loving is continuing to lead. Is Loving still shutting the truck off in the corner? That's the question that we have. Yeah, he's still shutting that truck off. Trying to save as much fuel as he can. Matt, that's something I didn't know I could do. So, hey, I figure I would try it on the fly, and now I know how to do it. That'll come in handy next time I have a battle like that. Currently, your top 5 drivers are all playoff drivers. Adam Lang runs in 7th, Travis Beaver in 10th. So all of your playoff drivers up in the top 10. The way that they run right now, it looks like, as they run right now, the top 4 that would be going on to Phoenix would be Adam Lang, Stephen Loving, Andy Kurtz, and Michael Kosick as they run right now. Travis Beaver currently a lap down, running in the 11th position on the bubble. He was 14 points back. Kosick is now quite a few points ahead of him, so he would get bumped out and Kosick would be in. However, Logan Monteith is ahead of Kosick, so we'll try to calculate the points as the run goes on. See Matt Knight's working his way around Steve Loving to get a lap back. And with 14 laps to go, the interval is 14 seconds. And right now, Steve Loving looks like he's turned the heat back on a little bit. And what were second faster laps that McLean was putting down are now only half-second laps, although that time by, it was almost a second. You can run this one up here as well at the same time. Graphics galore, and you can see the lap time difference. McLean, some laps he's half a second faster, some laps he's a full second faster. So that gives you both the interval on the right and the actual lap times difference in the center. As we see Eric Burkhalter making his way around Loving. Try to get one of his laps back. Loving, though, fighting back hard on the inside. And if you're saving tires and saving fuel, racing somebody like that is not what you want to be doing. Again, this is for a spot in the playoffs. If Steve Loving can pull this off, he will automatically punch his ticket, although really he only has to finish in the top 3 to move on to Phoenix. But getting the win here tonight would give him the momentum moving into next week. With less than 10 laps to go, the interval is just over almost 11 seconds. So unless Steve Loving runs into some heavy lap traffic, it looks like clear sailing out in front of him, he's basically going to be able to work or get the win here tonight. McLean currently 10.5 seconds back. And that's a 2.5 seconds back from McLean back to Monteith. Just 7 laps to go. As we see the 73 of Ryan Huff trying to get his lap back. Ryan currently the first truck 1 lap down. He's got a little push here to Steve Loving. That's actually causing Steve Loving to burn a little bit more fuel. But does Loving have enough fuel to make it these next 5.5 laps? Five laps to go here. Chris McLean's cut the lead down to 6.5 seconds. Again, McLean in a must-win situation. Much like we saw last week with Garrett Kinder in a must-win situation, as Kinder is going to miss the next race here tonight as he's at the NASCAR All-Star race. So with him in a must-win situation, he was able to get it done. With 4 laps to go, does McLean have enough time? Unless the caution comes out or Steve Loving runs out of fuel. You see Loving down on the low side. Coming to 3 laps to go at this point. Loving's made his bed. He's going to have to sleep in it. See if this puts him in a position to win here tonight. It's now just 2.5 seconds back to Chris McLean with 2.5 laps to go. We see McLean in the picture. Last time by, he was just barely in the picture. If you look back there, you can see that silver truck starting to gain even more on the 27 of Loving. 2 laps to go here at Texas. And the interval is now just over a second. Loving in trouble as McLean's really turned on the afterburners the last few laps. There he is. You can see McLean in the picture. Coming to the white flag. McLean pushing hard to get himself the win and punch his ticket. He's there, coming through the quad oval. McLean to the outside, down into turns 1 and 2. Can Loving hold on for the lap, or is McLean going to get the win side by side off of turn number 2? McLean gets around Loving. And Chris McLean through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Off of turn number 4, Chris McLean is going to win it here at Texas. Logan Monteith comes home second. Steve Loving's out of fuel. He's going to finish in third. Still a great run, but the winner tonight, the 05 of Chris McLean. And wow, what a finish. How about Logan Monteith coming home and finishing in second? He needed a good points day to move himself up into the championship round at Phoenix in 2 weeks. Curious how fast we can get the points updated for you for next week, as Chris McLean gets hit there and the Rebels Demolition Derby begins. Let's take a look at your full results. Chris McLean again runs down a fuel-saving Steve Loving to get the win. Logan Monteith comes home in second. Steve Loving back in third. Michael Kosick finishes in fourth. Jonathan Cofield rounds out the top five. Andy Kurtz, Adam Lang, Eric Burkhalter, Ryan Huff, and Travis Beaver round out the top 10. Michael Swink comes home in 11th. 12th will be Todd Schott. 13th is Jamie Mullins. Brandon Wallace comes home in 14th. Steve McDonald in the 15th position. Matt Knights comes home 16th. 17th is Brandon Pollock. Gary Wright in 18th. And Greg Frodick round out the field here tonight at Texas. As Chris McLean continues to burn it down and now gets hit yet again. As we get ready to talk to our top three here tonight. I will start with our third place finisher, Steve Loving. Steve, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, great run tonight. Trying to steal the win with a little fuel strategy. It almost worked for you. We saw you shutting the truck off and saving as much fuel as you could. Overall, a great run for you, locking yourself into Phoenix next week. But I know a little disappointing not getting the win here tonight.
Yeah, the tried to stretch it and missed out. The second half of the race, the flashing charges just was going to come in like a lot there. I clutched it for 50 laps through 1 and 2, just trying to conserve it a little bit. About halfway into the second run, I started going about 75% throttle. And backing off the 50% moving forward, just trying to save anything I could. I kept walking while I was knowing it would catch it. Hopefully it would work. There's a lot shorter of a Beaver.
Yeah, and having trouble hearing you a little bit. Your microphone's sounding a little like it's cutting in and out there. But man, a fantastic job. Yeah, doing what you could to get that top three tonight. Did you think you might have had something for Chris to hold him off there at the end, or did you just, not have anything there as we saw?
I ran out of gas coming out before, so I was rolling. If I didn't have a gas issue, I think we were running some great laps at the end of the race. In fact, we got 4 or 5 so far. I think that's what we're fun there. We did 4 laps. And the rest of the race was strategy.
Well, again, the strategy almost worked out for a great finish here tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Anyone you shout out before we let you go here tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate Mike for hosting the league and for broadcasting to do that. And all the other good drivers, Logan, Adam, there's a ton of them behind the league that do great. And appreciate all of that. Have a good time.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats and good luck in 2 weeks at Phoenix.
All right, thank you.
So that was your third place finisher, Steve Loving. I apologize for his microphone having a little issues there. Let's bring in our second place finisher, Logan Monteith. Logan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great job tonight coming home in second. Had a battle pretty much all race long up at the front. Steve Loving gets out in front on fuel strategy. You were able to run him down at the very end, come home in second, and possibly, I'm trying to get the points up, but I believe you've moved on to Phoenix. So congratulations on the run tonight. Man, what was the difference in the strategy? I know it seemed like a bunch of different strategies out on track tonight. Were you expecting this one to go green flag to flag?
There's a pretty good chance it would. Texas is a pretty simple track compared to some of the other ones, especially getting onto pit road.
Yeah, for sure, and a fantastic run for you tonight. You and McLean had quite the battle going on all race long, and just looks like you came up just a little bit short on him tonight. If the race had a couple more laps, you think you might have had him there at the end?
I think I probably could have done something to win to him. Got stuck racing a lap car there and lost a whole second to Chris there. So, but I mean that's racing.
For sure is. But again, a fantastic run here tonight. And before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to say thanks to here tonight?
I want to thank the series sponsor, Hardline Transport Solutions, the sporting sponsors, Dang Dang Racing Designs, Meal, Race Designs, Shibu Inu Crypto, my team sponsors, 60 Feet 6 Foundation, MP Foxography, ABR Setup Shop, Retro Wallace, Customs and Designs, Seabirds Racing Media, Raise Energy, Skills VR, Mud Mules TV, and then my team, Evil Empire Simsport.
Well, again, awesome job here coming home in second. And we want to wish you luck moving on to Phoenix.
Thank you.
So that was your second place driver, Logan Monteith. Let's talk to your winner tonight, the driver of the 05, Chris McLean. Chris, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, boy.
Man, congratulations on the win here tonight. You're in a must-win situation to punch your ticket to Phoenix, and you got it done here tonight. How'd you get it done here tonight? We saw Lovin trying to stay out on track, and it looked at one point like he was starting to pull back away from you, and you were able to run him down. So, what was the strategy coming in tonight?
Hey, man, just stay patient, stay clean, and just kind of keep the right front on it. I drove it a little harder in the first run just because I had a good starting position, just to see what it would take, and we got through the first run and I come out with the lead actually there, and had I don't know, just I didn't realize the guy ahead of me was pitting, so I tried to move up when I realized it, and it got a little loose, and Logan was able to get by me there. So I wasn't going to battle him too hard because Costick had a pretty good lead on us, so I was just going to kind of ride there and see if we could catch him. And then once I realized we could catch him, I kind of backed off Logan and saved a little tire there and just kind of kept him in my reach. And then we had a great green flag stop on that second cycle, come out with the lead, with the exception of a couple guys that was on fuel strategy. And I don't know, I thought Steve was going to throw a wrench in it there. Spotter was telling me that he's so many seconds out, and, you're catching him, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. And we didn't think he was going to be able to make it on fuel, but we wasn't sure. Then we just started reeling him in, really reeling the seconds in really quick. So I said, I think we're going to get him. I think he's scared he's going to run out. And I think he ended up running out off 4, but I think we was going to get him anyway. But yeah, man, we just had a good run, kept the truck clean, fun racing. Far cry from last week because I botched Rockingham, which is one of my better tracks, and just couldn't get it together. But overall, I had a good night and punched our ticket to the playoff.
How do you like your chances next week at Phoenix, or 2 weeks from now at Phoenix?
Phoenix is I've actually won another league race championship at Phoenix, so I'm hoping I can do it again. We'll see.
Well, before you let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout-outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, man, I got to give a big shout out first and foremost to my family, my wife and kids, man. They're the backbone of the whole deal. Allow me to do this and hang out with my buddies and get some racing in. Hardline Transport Solutions, all the sponsors that have anything to do with, with this league. It's a great league, Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, you up in the booth. I always enjoy going back the next day and watching Peglet Phelps, P&J Motorsports, Evil Empire, SNS, Thunderstruck Truck Series, Kinder Farm and Ranch. The guys over there, they do a lot of support with a lot of leagues. Tune in and watch and get involved. So that's pretty much sums it up.
Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do in 2 weeks at Phoenix.
Thank you, bud.
So here you have it, your winner tonight, Chris McLean. Going to shout out our hard charger, Ryan Huff, getting the hard charger award here tonight through Evil Empire Simsport, if I can get the graphic to pop up on my screen. There it goes. That's Ryan Huff getting the Hard Charger Award here tonight. And we do have one more driver we'd like to talk to tonight. And that would be the 8 of Adam Lang. Adam, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey.
Man, now you are the other driver making their way to the playoffs at the final race at Phoenix. Not the best race tonight, but able to get yourself locked in. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, they were crazy at the beginning of the race, so I just kind of let them go. And then I didn't want a short pit as early as I did on the last run, but I hit the wall, so I just went in the next lap. But I'll take a 7th. It's not bad.
Yeah, kind of curious what the strategy was, but it looked like the after smacking the wall, it worked out for you. I do have the final 4 up on the screen for those watching home, and yeah, strategy seemed to be the key of the race tonight. Were you expecting this one to go green flag all the way, or do you think we might have got a caution there towards the midway point?
I was actually expecting a caution. There was like 7 cautions last season at Texas, so I was kind of shocked it went green. But it's good when it goes green. It really shows who can save tires. I wasn't horrible at the end of the first run, so I was hoping I messed up and I smacked the wall. I probably could have at least had top 5. Texas is a fun track. Phoenix is gonna be fun, especially with the top 4.
Yeah, we're looking forward in 2 weeks to Phoenix. So again, good luck at Phoenix. How do you like your chances there this year?
I feel like I'm pretty good at Phoenix, but I know Chris is really good. I mean, all the top 4, we're all really good, and Phoenix is gonna be whoever's the best. So it's gonna be fun.
Well, again, congratulations on making it to the playoff or the final 4. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give?
Yeah, I just got to thank my wife and kids, everybody at Tailhorse, all the great sponsors of this league, Josh Park Racing, and go to joshparkracing.com. Use code LING8 for 10% off.
There you have it. So again, congratulations, Adam, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Your top 4 on the screen. Adam Lang coming in as the top seed. Steve Loving, Logan Monteith, and Chris McLean, your top 4. Racing it out for a championship next week or 2 weeks from now at Phoenix. Unfortunately, Andy Kurt's not able to defend his title, but a great run for him this season as well as we move on to Phoenix in 2 weeks. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting with the original Rebels League Hardline Transport Solutions Outlaw Truck Series here on Intensity. Again, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And don't forget, we got another one coming on in about 40 minutes. The Rebels Truck Series will be taking on Texas for 100 laps to see who moves on to the top 4 in the next one. So check that one out. We'll be back with you in just a bit. So, as always, thank you again. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over.